Hello and welcome to Animal Watch, and this week we are meeting a very special anti-poaching Malinois puppy who's in training to go out to Africa.
Animal Watch has brought you the super soldier Malinois before. We have seen them abseil, raid military cells, take down criminals and apprehend wildlife poachers. But how do they all start? This week we are visiting Top Training Academy Dogs for Wildlife to meet some very special super soldier pups in training to save the world's most threatened animals. We will see their foundation work and how these talented youngsters are moulded into the super anti-poaching soldier dogs sent to fight the war on wildlife crime. Meet the Belgian Malinois babies. Possibly the toughest and most adaptable dogs in the world, and absolutely the most frequently used dog breed in the military. The Belgian Malinois can pretty much do anything it is trained to do, which includes working alongside the Marines, the Air Forces, in war-torn zones, police dogs, service dogs, and one of the most important roles, as protectors of our diminishing wildlife. Since 1970, the world has lost over 2/3 of its wildlife, and one of the worst hit continents is Africa, with a catastrophic loss to its wildlife. The black rhino was driven close to extinction due to the illegal trade in rhino horn, which can fetch more than cocaine on the black market. Animal Watch filmed Diego, a super anti-poaching Malinois, back in 2019, who was a protector to the world's last two remaining northern white rhinos, whose population had crashed due to war in Africa, loss of habitat and poaching. But it's not just rhinos in danger. Giraffes, cheetahs, pangolins, leopards, lions and elephants are all suffering horrifically. Snares are often set to capture animals who are then robbed of their horns, body parts, or just chopped up as bushmeat. The rangers who protect the wildlife are also in serious danger too, often shot dead and attacked by criminals who have sophisticated tracking technology now, including drones and high-powered machine guns. So meet the heroes sent out to assist and work alongside these rangers, our super soldier Malinois. The Belgian Malinois is one of the most frequently used dogs in Africa to work alongside these brave rangers, helping them to track down and capture many wildlife criminals. For this job, the Malinois use not only need to be highly skilled at all types of tracking, but trained to endure weather and terrain extremes, to not be scared of gunfire or large animals, to be fierce when needed, and to pull down an escaping offender, and most of all, be well trained and obedient to a whole array of handlers. Whereas security dogs are often bonded to one handler, these anti-poaching dogs need to often be handled by many rangers. So part of their training includes socialization to many handlers, as well as learning their incredible military skills. We have driven all the way out to rural Wales to meet one of the top non-profit training organisations of anti-poaching dogs in the world, Dogs for Wildlife, a top training academy to many super Malinois soldier puppies in the making, run by founders Darren Priddle and Jacqui, who are busy moulding future canine wildlife warriors, who are all in training to help save the world's last remaining African wildlife.
My name is Darren Priddle from Dogs for Wildlife in the UK. We train and deploy operational anti-poaching dogs to conservancies and reserves across Africa to help defend against wildlife crime.
Hello
Hey
Hi.
Anneka, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And you. Welcome to Dogs for Wildlife.
Hi, well, it's a pleasure to be here on such a beautiful day.
You suddenly picked a good one.
In sunny Wales.
Makes a change.
For once.
Makes a change.
Well, I'm here to see a very, very special dog of yours.
Yes, you are, Shinga.
Shinga, and she's a young Malinois in training.
She is 23 weeks old at the moment, yes, yeah.
Oh, I should say, I was saying young, but I bet she's tough, isn't she?
She's full of beans, absolutely.
Full of beans and tough as nails.
Ready to meet her?
I am, indeed.
Excellent, let's
Lead the way.
Perfect.
I had heard so much about Shinga. She was a superstar in the making. A beautiful young 7-month-old Malinois, sponsored by ProDog Raw, who was in training to be sent out to Emiri Rhino Conservation in Zimbabwe.
Hop, 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 hop. Woo!
Little baby, little baby, little baby girl. She's brilliant.
Full of beans, but she's definitely no good for pet.
Yeah,
homes.
just working home, right?
Working
Absolutely.
homes only, 100%.
Yeah.
A typical Malinois.
Yeah, exactly. People don't realise that. They think they look beautiful. They don't realise what.
There's certainly a lot of dog, yeah.
Bundles and bundles of energy.
Down.
But then look at her, so well trained, so responsive. Yeah, like so much energy in there as well. But hey, baby girl.
Shinga was gorgeous and so affectionate to those she is socialised to work with, meaning that she will be a wonderful addition to the Emiri Rhino Conservation in Zimbabwe. Diego in Ol'Pejeta had also been a very sociable dog, but could turn on his power when required, as seen here. Darren asked me if I would like to watch some of the skills that Shinga was in training to do, so one day she could be just like Diego.
So obviously this is Shinga, and now I'm going to demonstrate to you all a little bit of the training that we've done with her today. As again, she's 23 weeks old, so it's all about relationship, trust, confidence building. So I'm about to put Shinga in our hammock. This is all about teaching her balance, coordination, and confidence and stability on unstable surfaces. Hop! Hop! Wait. 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 Good girl. Good wait. Wait. Okay. Yee. I'm going to do a little bit of tug work with Shinga now, and the role of the tug play is to try and condition into Shinga the grip that we want her to exhibit when she's training for apprehension work when she's a little bit older. Added to that, it's a really good base for relationship building and trust building with me as a handler. Obviously the aim with grip development is to get the dog to have a nice clear-headed, calm, consistent, full mouth grip. The reason we focus on grip development when the puppies are so young is so that when they are operational, the type of biting that they do when they are apprehending these poachers is all about pain compliance. It's not about causing a lot of damage. What we want to effectively achieve as a last resort only is giving the rangers the ability to effectively, efficiently and safely arrest the poachers. Out, down, wait. Yes. Ah, you got it. Good girl. Ready, hey. Up. Good girl. Come on.
Hi, I'm Jacqui. I'm another one of the directors at Dogs for Wildlife. Myself and Darren are the two trainers, so we train all the dogs that so far have been deployed out to Africa. So one of the important things for us with our dogs as well is the fact that our dogs are born and raised here as well. So we have input from the moment of birth. With Shinga, she was the firstborn of Mercy's litter, and as she came out, she gave a little growl and literally latched on to Mercy's nipple as she came out. And I thought, yeah, this is quite a strong little puppy.
Darren then said if I would like to meet another puppy in training. Cal was introduced to me, a beautiful 10-month-old male who is being trained for Africa also. Darren demonstrated Cal doing some environmental training, agility, control and obedience.
Speak. Steady. Steady. Sit. Up. Wait. Down. Speak.
Lusa, a beautiful 10-month-old female, was then brought out to demonstrate agility, walkover, A-frame, window jump and tunnel. Obviously, the Malinois is known for his tremendous bite and power. He uses his body weight to often catapult people over, making up for his smaller frame. Bite work starts small with great encouragement to the dog so that the dog can feel happy and praised about biting. The idea being to build confidence and not startle the dog before he has fully engaged with this skill set. Darren was keen to show me the early bite work in training with Lusa. Finally, we were introduced to Vice, his 3-year-old breeding male, who was to demonstrate obedience, relation-building skills and motivational training, all to give an idea of the training level Shinga will eventually get to.
Close. Yes. Yes. Down. Yes. Sit. Speak. Speak. Close. Yes.
One day, all of these puppies would fit into Diego's footsteps and become superheroes for wildlife in Africa. Until then, I was keen to find out their backstory and what was to happen going forward.
Well, I'm here with Darren and Shinga, and of course you've met her already, and she's wriggly, she's squiggly, she's chewy, she's loving, she's well behaved, she's well trained.
For now, yeah.
For now, and
For now.
she's going to become a hero dog one day, isn't she,
She
Darren?
is, hopefully, yeah. She'll be deployed to Amire in Zimbabwe sometime early next year.
All right, so Darren, tell us about Dogs for Wildlife and what you do.
Well, myself and my partner Jacqui, we started Dogs for Wildlife 2 years ago. We train and deploy operational and anti-poaching dogs to different reserves and conservancies across Africa. Normally very well trained dogs, but we're having a naughty moment with Shinga at the moment. But yeah, we train dogs to deploy them to help defend against wildlife crime, poaching.
Why Malinois?
Highly adaptable, highly intelligent, everything that we could want from them in an operational sense, they are capable of doing and more.
So when she goes out, what will her duties be?
Her main duties will be tracking human scent over long distance, and also defending a handling team if the need arises at any point at the end of that trail. The apprehension side of their training is, as we advise the handling team when we're on the ground, is a last resort.
Yes.
It's not something that they rely on. They rely on the dog's capabilities to follow human scent over long distances and difficult terrain. That is predominantly the dog's use, to give the teams the ability to track at night, which they can't do with visual spoor tracking, and to also give them the capacity to do it at a much greater speed. Amire, the reserve that she's going to, have white and black rhino. They also have a small herd of elephants. So they are the larger species that she will be looking after and protecting. But the whole populace effectively of wildlife that she will be protecting is quite diverse. So you've got pangolins, you know, the world's most trafficked animal, you've got fish poaching, you've got standard antelope species that are prolifically bushmeat poached. So it's the entire pool of wildlife that she will be effectively looking after.
How do you sort of start the socialisation and the training?
We've got a really intense imprintment program here, and that includes lots of environmental exposure to different sounds, noises, surfaces, textures, meeting lots of people and getting them used, as you can see, to being on and over and under lots of different surfaces and environmental objects. So we make them bomb-proof as we can, so that when they go over to the African bush, they're extremely adaptable and nothing faces them.
Yeah, and then you'll go through all the tracking and the scent training, and then obviously the sleeve work and the apprehension. And of course, one of the most important commands is to actually let go of the person.
Is to out.
And of course, the amazing thing about Shinga is she's being sponsored by Pro Dog Raw.
She is. They've kindly sponsored her entire training program, which is amazing. They sponsor her food. As you can see, she's in great condition.
What is it like to actually have a working Malinois dog in your home if you're an average person that goes to work
if you're an
every
average
day?
owner that goes to work every day, that lives a atypical family life, I would definitely advise against purchasing a Malinois. They take a great deal of responsibility, time, energy, effort, a lot of training, a lot of discipline in terms of your management of them. The types of bloodlines that are quite prolific in the UK at the moment, for me, they're not suitable for the average home. They keep, you know, the world's best trainers on their toes. That's why we use them, why we own them, why we train them, because they keep us active, they keep us thinking, and for an everyday family pet, they're not suitable.
No. What is the fundamental differences between a working line Malinois and a show line Malinois?
There's a lot of fundamental differences in their general temperaments and characters. The show lines, they've been bred for conformation and look over character and temperament, I find, generally. They can be a little bit more insecure, they can be a little bit less hardy than the working lines, and that's generally why a lot of working people don't tend to use the show line Malinois.
Now, if somebody said that they wanted to have a pet show line, do you think there's still a lot of
I think there's still a lot of
hyperactivity in the breed? There's a lot of energy here bubbling. She just wants to work.
She wants to work all
She
the
wants
time,
to have mental stimulation. She wants to be challenged. Now, the average person, I find, can't even deal with a small dog a lot of the time.
They struggle with their own
absolutely
dogs,
not going to be able to deal with one of
No.
these. So please don't go on these websites where you're just buying puppies from unknown breeders.
If you're genuinely interested in looking at buying a Malinois, do your research, do your homework, approach professional Malinois owners and trainers, get their advice, seek their advice and guidance, and make the right decision before jumping in emotionally with your heart and ending up with a potential problem that will only end up in rescue or will end up getting rehomed because the dog's just too much for you.
If you would like to support not-for-profit Dogs for Wildlife, you can donate towards their work here at www.dogsforwildlife.org. For donating to Dogs for Wildlife, you are not just supporting their educationally based frontline efforts, you are also helping to support the communities and local projects of both wildlife crime prevention and conservation. Every donation goes towards creating beautifully well-trained dogs like Shinga, who will carry on to fight the war on wildlife crime. Just imagine all of those animals she will save, just like our last 2 northern white rhinos. You can also help raise money by buying one of their gorgeous Dogs for Wildlife collars, so you can look just as majestic as my Kumi shown here. I will put the link in the episode description below so you can click straight through. There are also t-shirts and various other merch in their online shop.
And if you enjoyed this episode of Animal Watch, then be sure to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel by clicking the button in the bottom hand corner, and tune in every single week where you will be meeting more amazing dogs, wolves, animal rescue, wildlife and conservation. Bye for now.
If you would like to find out more about Shinga's sponsors, Pro Dog Raw, You can find their website here.